What's up, everybody? Here we are at the official preview of Lady Death Eternal Sabbath, the all-new Kickstarter, which is an official tie-in to Helligeddon, Part 3, in fact. This campaign launches Wednesday, August 7th at 6 p.m. Arizona time. Mark your clock wherever you are in the globe, whether it's in Eastern Europe, Australia, Antarctica, or the North, because we ain't taking no prisoners, but we invite you to come along. Before we get into it, this is Helligeddon Part 3, and the cool thing about this is this storyline is heating up. Man, this is the part of the story where all hope is gone. Everything's going badly for our main characters. Let me give you a couple of pages, show you a couple of pages. I'm not going to show you a lot. This is one of those, like, every page is a spoiler, but check in. This storyline co-stars Hell Witch, Madam Midnight, Lady Satanis, La Muerta. Here's just another page, and this is by the returning team. Diego Bernard, Wes Hartman, Marshall Dillon, co-written by myself and Mike McLean. Check it out. And I'm about to show you, so again, let's get into the basics. This is a 64-page original graphic novel, 56 pages of story and art. It is the third part of Helligeddon, and things are going really brutally for our main characters. I would also say that this is the 20th chapter of Lady Death in the Coffin Comics era, and Lady Death, I wouldn't say she's had it easy, but I'd say she's been very dominant in a lot of the storylines and in terms of her winning and kicking ass. But man, this is different. This is a tougher one. The enemy is Satanis. There's enemies become allies, allies become enemies. I mean, the whole storyline is like a seismic psychological earthquake. Now, without further ado, let's get into some of the additions that we're going to be offering and some of the cool extras, shall we? So first up, let me show you the premiere edition. The premiere edition is cover by Diego Bernard and Wes Hartman. This shows Lady Death facing off against Satanis in Times Square. It's intense. Next up, we have the Demon Hunters edition. This is featuring the character Madam Midnight. And we make no bones about it, Madam Midnight plays a critical and crucial part in the storyline, particularly beginning this chapter. And this begins Madam Midnight's ascent in the Coffin Comics universe. And then check out Monty Moore bringing the heat with the Defy Me Not edition. Standalone edition. Get your Monty Moore. I think you really knocked it out of the park off for this one. Now, also letting you know that we're bringing back our Naughty series of art books. This is Naughty Naughty. It's 48 pages, square bound. This main edition by Mike Chrome will actually be in a trade form, not a hardcover form, but it will feature a beautiful foil logo across the top, and it'll be limited to 66 copies. Next, this is the hardcover edition by Mike Chrome, also featuring Madam Midnight. And Chrome knocking it out of the park, as he usually does. Next, Sora Sung. Sora Sung does the jeweled edition, everybody. Beautiful inks by Juan Castro. And gorgeous colors. Lady Satanis is in this one. A lot of team-ups going on here. Don't get it twisted. Here is our official Naughty edition. Bit of a cover up there, but this is by Sun K. You notice Lady Death appears to be going towards the dark side. Next up is our beautiful Mega Foil edition by Mike DiBalfo. Featuring a lot of cool skulls. Now, next up, jumping back to our special offer from the Naughty Naughty edition. This is a gorgeous ultra foil edition, a mock-up of it, by Sora Sung Juan Castro. And gorgeous art. This is a mock of what the foil details will look like. This edition, I believe, is limited to 500. Next up is our holofoil edition by Jim Ballant. Love the Statue of Liberty behind there. Thank you, Jim Ballant, for coming back. Longtime friend, ally, and inspiration. Now that rounds out some of the basic editions, but I would like to show as another basic edition, not basic, but rad, rad edition, let me see if I got it right. Yeah, the heavy metal edition by Dawn McTague. Oh boy. There's Dawn really leaning into the theme. Perhaps Lady Death becomes hellified herself, meaning she is subject to Satanis's possession. Now, Coffin Comics has a long history of doing extras, so let's get into the first extra over here, shall we? We are going to do an all-new hoodie for the fall called the Screamin' Hoodie. There is the front of the hoodie, and this is the back of the hoodie. It'll be available in unisex sizes from size small to 4X. It's got boldly showing the Coffin Comics logo in a way that we have not before. We're also going to offer this as a unisex shirt for the ladies and for the men. Brand new design. People have been saying, hey, get some Coffin branded stuff. And I think we're all kind of like, walls are washed out, so we need a new one, right? Now, over here, a lot of question marks, and they are our mystery envelopes for this campaign. But before I show that, let me show you something that's a bit of a reveal. This gorgeous fine art print called Shadow Queen, featuring the art of Puppeteer Lee. Puppeteer Lee. All right, everybody, let's get into some of the mystery envelopes for this particular campaign on the theme of Helligeddon. First up, we are going to pop in a couple of artist proofs, a couple of items from the vault, a couple of BPs, a couple of publisher file copies, and a couple of Omega editions. And then here are some of the rare editions we're offering this time around. Check out this gorgeous Violet Metal edition by Richard Ortiz. This one is going to be pretty limited. I think probably 40 or under on this one. Next up, another presentation of the Hellified Liberty or Death edition by Sora Sung, Juan Castro. This is limited to 30. And this is colored by Rain. Check out these new Pearl editions. We're getting really low on these. So again, overall, I think on the mystery envelopes, about 1,225. But we're doing a Hellified Pearl edition by Dawn McTague, limited to 25. We're doing a all-new, beautiful Monty Moore Pearl, limited to 25. And then we're doing a Mike Diodato Jr. Scarlet Pearl, limited to 25. It's great to have the Maestro come on back. Just another thing that's really cool for me in comics. I've been in comics now. I'm completing my third decade. I'm getting into the fourth now. And it's great to have friendships that remain through the decades. Mike Diodato Jr. was the artist on Lady Death's monthly series in the late 90s. It's great to reconnect with the Maestro and have him contribute new material, because God knows that guy's work is amazing. Next up, equally rare. Oh man, limited to 25. This is the Naughty On Guard with ultra luxury foil edition. So this is luxury foil, limited to 25. The next luxury foil edition is by Colette Turner, limited to 25, colored by Chuck Michael Obach. And then, first time artist for Coffin Comics, luxury foil limited to 25, Dravicus. Dravicus. Hope you think that we are bringing the heat on these mystery envelopes, but we have just gotten started. Next up, check out Randy Green and Torella coloring. Lady Death is in Hollywood. This is limited to 50. And then it also has a recolor edition. And then we have the Keith Garvey Hollywood Prestige edition, limited to 50. And then the Naughty version. Next we have Sia This edition, the Sia Hollywood edition is limited to 50. And then Elias Chatzudis, Prestige edition and Naughty edition. Then next we have the Matt Meerhoff, Prestige edition and Naughty edition, featuring Lady Death and Madam Midnight teaming up. It's true. Next, we have Greg Deeks, Death Rises edition, limited to 50. First-time artist on Lady Death. And then Michael Dooney, Celestial edition, limited to 50. We have Adriana Mello, Lady Satanis Prestige edition. And also the Hellified edition. Next up, we have Ozzy, the Ozman himself, Oz Salvador, doing the Chaotica Hellslinger team-up Prestige and Hellified edition. I don't know if we just gave a story point away, but man, if the characters Chaotica and Hellslinger became Hellified and turn on some of our major characters, that'd be bad. That's bad news, man. Then next up, check this one out. Richard Ortiz, Day edition. Richard Ortiz, Night edition. It's kind of uncharacteristic of the theme, but it's Richard Ortiz. Basically, whatever Richard wants to do, we want to publish it. Then we have a couple of casket editions by Diego Bernard, limited to 25. And we have a couple of casket editions by Stephen Butler, also limited to 25, continuing the series of gorgeous casket editions. Rounding out, check this out. We have Larry Wells homaging Lady Death #1. This is the blue edition, limited to 30. Then we have the Scarlet edition, limited to 30. And then we have the Violet edition, limited to 30. I think that's going to make Robert Zabrowski kind of happy and others who like Larry's work. Next up, let's take a look at the Lady Death Naughty Naughty signed special edition. This will be a hardcover. The first two editions will actually be cardstock covers that are square bound. This will be a hardcover. It'll be limited to 250 copies. The artwork is by Richard Ortiz. And it'll have a beautiful coffin-shaped bookplate on the inside front cover. Now, the 3 aforementioned Naughty Naughty books will also be offered as a set as well. I believe it's for $160. You could get one of each. So you can purchase them separately or together as a set. Next up, what are we going to get into? I don't think I'm going to get into prints yet because I don't want to reveal all these artists. So let's continue. Let's see what we have next. Yes, the Maestro returns. Dan Mendoza provides his limited to 99 set where Lady Death and Madam Midnight are teaming up. And that's true. That is exactly what they're doing. It is a team up for the ages in this storyline. What are we getting into next? Yes. Okay. So now we're starting to get into some of the upper tiers where we actually group some of the books you've already seen together. And now we're going to look at one of the first upper tiers that includes several of the editions you saw. And by the way, a preview is available and you could check this out online. Check out the link, get a sense of it, get used to what you may or may not want, consider it. But check this out. Our chase cover for this campaign is by Mike DiBalfo in pink, in emerald, in chrome, in gold, in violet, and in scarlet. We also have the Omega. We will tip in one of each if you want to get in there and get a shot. It'll feature the Omega symbol, and it has the white background in the aforementioned colors. Now that first tier will actually come with one of these chase and actually one of the previously mentioned mystery envelopes. Now we're getting into some more upper tier action, and the first upper tier will also include this gorgeous Mike Deodato Jr. Out of the Flames edition. And if I am reading this correctly, to me, this looks like Lady Death has gone hellified. Lady Death is possessed. If Lady Death is possessed, who will stand up to the epic villainy of Satanus? I don't know. This is just that point in the story, folks. You know how it goes. All hope is lost. Death is everywhere. All right. Let's get into like psychotic upper tiers. And the equivalent of the high roller, we are bringing back the one and only Jesse Witchman for the Metallic Jewel edition. This is a mock-up. It's been a little while since Jesse Witchman contributed, but this image is gorgeous. We are happy to have him return. Next up, as part of the upper tier, is the Naughty Hellified Bloodthirsty edition by Jim Ballant. The Naughty Hellified Beauty by Dawn McTague. And let's compare and contrast to, come on over here, compare and contrast to the Heavy Metal edition. You know, as is the case, you know, Dawn McTague really makes the alternative editions so wonderful. And then also we have the Naughty and Hellified Liberty or Death edition. And again, let's take a look at this one. The comparison is kind of cool. So I showed the one earlier, one of the main editions. Here's our characters before, and then in the Naughty Hellified, it does appear as if all hope is lost and our characters are now succumbed. And that even includes the Statue of Liberty. Look at that. Look at the detail. The Coffinverse is in big trouble in this storyline. I got to tell you. Now, anybody interested in seeing some legend tier art? Well, then feast your eyes on the work of Amanda Connor with the Metal Legend edition. Thank you, Amanda Connor, for contributing. Amanda's super cool Legend Megafoil edition. Feast your eyes on those. Also part of this legend tier is the Ultimate edition by Puppeteer Lee. Well, it's true. This is a gorgeous luxury foil version and the Virgin Art edition. So these are part of the legend. Puppeteer Lee, I believe this is the first image Puppeteer ever did. And yes, Puppeteer was part of the La Muerta Lady Death campaign. However, the quality of the work came to my attention and I was just knocked out. I invited Puppeteer Lee back instantaneously. Had to. Look at it. Come on. All right, everybody. Are you into some mega VIP action? Here we go. Hyper limited. All right, so this is part of the Legends Superfoil edition. This is a whole nother universe. There are actually going to be 30 of these, and no two will be the same. Now part of that tier. Every color, this is all foil, every color will be completely different. So every color on the spectrum we could imagine. And then also the Sun K Glow in the Dark edition. By next week, we'll show you exactly what that looks like. And then the Naughty Hellified City Metallic edition by Dravicus, a brand new artist who has not done work for Coffin. This is another one. Let's do a compare. So I love the beginning. Where's that Dravicus piece? Come back, Dravicus. Yeah, this is pretty rad. I like how they're different. All right, who's into the rarest of the rare? Check out Puppeteer Lee Ultimate Metal Edition, hyper limited. Now, the most upper tier of all is limited in nature. And here we go. Everything that we've shown, the great majority of what we've shown you before, plus these glow-in-the-dark metal editions by Dawn McTague, Amanda Connor, and the one and only Mike DeBalfo. So, among you may be folks who enjoy prints. So we're going to show them to you. First up, continuing our tradition, here are the official commemorative editions by Diego Bernard and Son K. We have the Premier Edition and the Naughty. They will actually be serial numbered, and they are limited in nature. For those of you who are fans of Amanda Connor, you'll be able to get this print along with the Premier Edition separately. And for fans of Puppeteer Lee, you'll be able to get his print. And then we have print sets. First print set we're going to offer this time around features the art of Mike DiBalfo, Mike Crone, Sora Songwon Castro, Eric Henson, Dawn McTague, and Monty Moore. Now, that is our prestige set. Now, let's get into our naughty set. Mike Crone, Dawn McTague, Sora Songwon Castro, Jim Ballant, color by Jim Ballant as well, Colette Turner, Chuck Michael Obach, and Dravicus. Beautiful prints. Now, there are also the print set 1 and 2, along with the previously mentioned prints, come together in one giant ultimate print set as well. Now, we're going to show you some of the trading cards for this campaign. The first set is the Prestige by Mike DiBalfo, Sora Songwon Castro, Mike Crone, Eric Henson, Dawn McTague, and Monty Moore. Then the second set is by Dravicus, Colette Turner, Jim Ballant, Juan Castro, Sora Song, Dawn McTague, and Mike Crone. Here we have the ultimate. We're going to have set Prestige and Naughty, but we're also offering up an ultimate trading card set. For you to see the ultimate trading card set, please sign up to the official preview pre-launch page, and you will get to see them. Folks, we're very excited to present to you on Wednesday, August 7th, Lady Death, Eternal Sabbath, a story that's been in the works for close to 2 years. All bets are off. Everything that you know and love is up for grabs in this story. So let's just hope it all works out for the characters of the Coffinverse, and in particular, Lady Death, as everything that she knows and loves is ripped from her. Why do we do this to this poor character? Anyway, I do cordially invite you to check in. We will definitely be featuring a party before the launch, and the launch happens Wednesday, August 7th. I hope I have that right, at 6 p.m. Arizona time. Please feel free to jump on board and hit up that pre-launch page so you could be notified upon launch, and look at the official preview so you could check out the goods in detail at your leisure. In about a week, I'm going to come at you one more time, and this is going to be what we call the Plan Your Pledge show, where we actually go tier by tier, reward tier by reward tier. We go up and down and be very specific about each tier. So, all I got to tell you is, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching the official Lady Death Eternal Sabbath preview. Later.